What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Danny Hugh, Head of Corporate Strategy and Operations for Neo Battery Materials. It's a pleasure to have you back on, Danny. How are you doing?
It's very good to be back, and I'm doing great. How about you, Aaron?
Great. I'm excited to be talking and getting an update from you because I know you guys have been up to a lot, got ongoing financing. So could you provide a brief overview of Neo Battery Materials for investors who may not be familiar with the company? And could you give me a few more details about Neo's recent advancements in the EV battery sector?
Yeah, sounds all great. So before jumping into the company, I'd like to give a brief explanation about the EV battery supply chain. Might be very new to some people, but first we have the mining and the minerals processing, and that gets passed down to the battery materials processing supply chain, and then to the battery cell manufacturers. And many people think that directly the battery metals like lithium, nickel, cobalt can be directly put into the battery cells, but that's not the case. But they have to go through one more step of processing to become cathode anode materials, which I will touch later on, and then they are passed on to the battery cell manufacturers. So Neo Battery Materials is currently operating within the battery materials processing supply chain area, in which we are developing a unique solution called silicon anode materials to increase the EV driving range by more than 20% by increasing the battery capacity, enabling ultra-fast charging, and cutting down battery costs all at the same time. And currently today, within the lithium-ion battery, four core battery materials exist. And as I said, this is the cathode, which involves lithium, nickel, cobalt, manganese, aluminum, as well as iron phosphate. And for the anode material, the only available material right now is graphite, and the other two are the separator as well as the electrolyte. And today, as I said, the only anode material available is graphite, but this is the major cause of problems such as slow charging times as well as a short driving range from a limited battery capacity. So right now within the industry, they found a new material that can be a catch-all solution to make up the deficiencies of graphite, and this is silicon, because by using silicon within the lithium-ion battery today, we can enable ultra-fast charging, store 10 times more capacity compared to graphite theoretically, and cut down costs if it's processed correctly. So in the near horizon, silicon is the sole available solution that can increase the driving range as well as enabling ultra-fast charging. And as a result, the global silicon anode market faces the highest growth rate among all kinds of battery materials, in which from 2022, growing from just 400 million USD in the global market size up to 2032, it's going to reach about 30 billion USD. So this is a compound annual growth rate of about 54%. Now, for Neo Battery Materials, over the past 3 years, with management and an engineering team from the largest battery manufacturers like LG, Samsung, and now General Motors, we have developed an energy-efficient, inexpensive manufacturing technology. And when we combine this with using one of the cheapest silicon raw materials, we are confident to say that we'll be one of the lowest cost global producers supplying silicon anode materials that are 70 to 80% cheaper compared to what our competitors can supply in the field today. Now, just in terms of our commercialization as well as our customer pipeline, we have established over about 60 relationships with global battery cell manufacturers, EV car makers, as well as high-profile battery supply chain companies. And today we are ongoing about 20 to 25 active material evaluation to ink advanced agreements like joint development as well as collaboration agreements that will get us to the next steps of commercialization. So we have a clear implementation strategy, and we are expediting this process through increasing our testing pipeline as well as our personnel capacity.
So Neo Battery Materials is currently in the final stages of the change of business process to be a technology issuer. With the trading halt in place, could you please give us any updates on completing the change of business and the financing? It would be also helpful to share business and operational updates as you continue to work with big brand names in the EV battery supply chain.
Yes, and I think this is sort of a big topic to cover, but to address the trading halt, we would like to explicitly clarify that we, as Neo Battery Materials and management, did not internally issue this trading halt, but this trading halt was issued and enacted solely by the Toronto Stock Venture Exchange, as we are in that final phases to complete the change of business process. So we have clearly communicated this message through our September 26th news release that the temporary trading halt is a normal course of action, nothing unorthodox for a change of business process. And we would also like to give some assurance, actually our full assurance, that this is not a cease trade order of any like kind in which the company is going sideways or down. And I will touch on the business and operation developments very shortly, but the fundamentals of Neo Battery Materials have never been better, as our products are performing the best since our inception, and we have made a highly effective structured team to enable these milestones to continually occur. So just to touch upon the trading halt, the requirements for the trading halt to be lifted is completing the minimum financing requirement in connection with the change of business and completing two minor administrative items. Now, first, I would like to address here that the change of business requires a mandatory minimum $2 million arm's length financing as stipulated in page 61 of the technical guide of listing from the TSXV. And this is one of the initial listing requirements to become a tier 2 technology issuer, in which we are striving to become at this moment. And many shareholders are wondering why we cannot use non-dilutive funding in this particular arm's length financing. But to clarify here, the non-dilutive funding cannot be used because, especially for non-dilutive funding and government grants, these are in connection with certain projects or milestones. And otherwise stated, they're not just straight up cash or free working capital given to the company so that we can use it with our own liberty. So this financing will give us the next leg up to support the increased personnel expansion and also to expand the manufacturing equipments so that we can increase the capacity for testing with our global parties. Now, through this, once we do increase our capacity, this will help us accelerate the commercialization timeline through establishing the long-awaited advanced agreements with these global battery cell manufacturers as well as EV automakers. Now, with regards to the financing, we want to give our shareholders and stakeholders the assurance that the closing of the financing is not even a minor worry to us. We are being highly cautious and prudent at this time to be selective of our new shareholders, mainly because, one, to attract long-term shareholders that do trust and believe in management's plans and the fundamental development of the company, and two, to filter out bad or predatory money that will hurt the value of existing shareholders. So we are nearing the end of filling in our books with good shareholders on our side that have the prospect and belief that Neo Battery Materials will become one of the top 10 global suppliers of silicon anode materials. Now, since the halt, the fundamentals of the company, as I said, have been only growing on the positive direction without any detrimental change. And as mentioned, we're in the best shape so far. Now, this year, as we have announced, we have made one of the biggest technological breakthroughs through improving the silicon anode life cycle by more than 70%. And we are continuing to industrially work to optimize this performance. And due to the high demand of our products, our R&D center right now is running at full capacity with a huge backlog build for these global EV supply chain companies that we are currently working with. And to help with this capacity problem, not only are we hiring more engineers, but we are moving to a larger facility with expanded equipment to increase the manufacturing and as well as the testing capacity. And just as the last point, and not to get too long here, but I have been actively discussing with our shareholders, but they have brought up some concerns with users on various stock chat boards as well as forums. And I've had the chance to review some of the comments, but I would like to explicitly comment here that there are many users that are spreading fear through misinformation. And I have found substantial number of fictitious claims that the company has gone sideways or there is a big fundamental problem, which there is not. And they are usually misleadingly connecting the halt as a negative sign, when in another light, it is actually a positive signal because we are in the end phases for the change of business. And as explained, these are all false claims as we are being continually contacted by global battery supply chain players, even at this moment. So I highly suggest shareholders to reach out to me through my work email, dhuh@neobatterymaterials.com, to personally chat with me and alleviate some concerns that are non-existent at this moment.
That's a great update, and I'm sure they'll appreciate the transparency. So as recently announced, NEO has appointed a new Chief Science Officer, Dr. J.H. Wu. Could you provide us more background information on Dr. Wu, and could you comment what changes with his appointment?
Yes, so Dr. J.H. Wu has indeed been appointed as our new Chief Science Officer, and our former CSO, Dr. Basudev Swain, is still with the company, but he's rather focusing on special projects in which recycling is his expertise, as well as green manufacturing practices. So Dr. Wu has had deep experience in the EV battery industry, in which he has worked at General Motors Global R&D Center as a scientific battery research engineer for a period of almost 3 years. And that was located in Warren, Ohio, in which the current Ultium Cells Gigafactory is constructed. So that's the joint venture between LG Energy Solution as well as GM. And more to this, Dr. Wu graduated from the University of Colorado Boulder in mechanical engineering, and he is an expert specializing in battery materials development and optimization, especially in the manufacturing of silicon anode materials for high energy batteries for long range EVs. Now, he has also had deep research experience with regards to solid state batteries. And through his brilliant mind and high impact research, a major battery materials NASDAQ company has licensed his patent related to solid state batteries. And Dr. Wu has been receiving royalties from this company since 2018. And we would like to comment that it is a rarity to find Dr. Wu in this kind of space and economy. And with his extensive track record in the automotive battery industry, we have high expectations and belief that Dr. Wu will give us another leg up in the advancement of our technology. He is truly motivated as he has had hands-on experience doing research specifically on our particular polymer coating technology for silicon anodes. And more to this, I would like to comment on our R&D engineering team, emphasizing that over the past 3 years, all of our technological breakthroughs have been driven by our internal R&D team, and the additional patents filed are solely under the company's name. We have not and currently do not rely on any other third-party sources or institutions to achieve or soon to achieve the levels of the silicon anode performance that we have realized so far. And senior management has successfully cultivated an R&D team that is highly effective and operates synergistically, which has brought us to where we are today. And this is the reason why we are expanding our workforce, recognizing that great minds yield great results. And this is also why we are extremely excited to have Dr. Wu on the team.
It's been exciting covering you guys and watching you grow your team of highly experienced individuals. So I look forward to continuing that. So Neo Battery's private subsidiary, NBM Korea, has been certified as Venture Enterprise in the Innovative Growth category. Could you please explain to the viewers why this is significant to the company and your future business development in South Korea?
Yes, so our private subsidiary, MBM Korea, has received official certification as an innovative growth venture enterprise by the South Korean federal government's Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, as well as startups. So we pursued this certification because it represents an official government endorsement that recognizes high-quality South Korean venture companies like MBM Korea with strong technological innovation and the potential for high business growth. This certification essentially serves as a government-backed endorsement for companies in South Korea, granting us various advantages and benefits like tax reductions, financial support, technical expertise assistance, as well as enhanced patent protection. Perhaps most significantly, this certification now enables South Korean institutional investors to participate in our financings, adding a valuable layer of validation to our endeavors. And I want to underscore that this certification isn't simply a straightforward application that results in an immediate approval, but the acceptance rate for this certification is very low, and we have been successfully accepted into this innovation growth category, which is one of the most stringent classifications among the four. And so over the past several months, a team of experts and officials conducted a comprehensive due diligence process. So this extensive evaluation encompassed various criteria, including technology impact, business model, market competitiveness, as well as site visits, as well as personnel interviews with management. So this certification will act with significance as we increase our business footprint within South Korea, working with these global battery manufacturers, as well as the EV automakers, And through this certification, we will continue to share our story among institutional investors, as well as the investment community in Korea, to get a robust long-term financial backing from the country as well.
Well, thank you for that update, Danny. I think this was much needed and great update. So look forward to having you back on for more as the company progresses. And once again, it has been a pleasure following you guys, seeing you execute. So I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.